We now come to the part of the program where we offer our thanks to our outgoing chairman and recognize our new one to come in for 2018. And so I invite Tim McArdle, our retiring chairman, and John Oster, our incoming chairman, to come forward and share some thoughts with us. You'll notice as they come forward a couple things. These guys are leaders and respected throughout the industry, and they also go to the same barber.
You can't handle both of us, you know that.
Okay, thank you, Darren, I suppose. I'm immune now at this point in life. You know, my name is Tim McArdle. Hopefully most of you know me by now, and I do represent Brandt Consolidated. We're an independent retailer in Springfield, Illinois, and in 2018 we'll celebrate our 65th year in business. It's a tremendous honor to represent that company this past year as the chairman of ARA. And just to give you a little bit of review from the chairman's perspective, Darren gave you a list of accomplishments yesterday, and there are many, and I'm not going to go through that list again, but there's a few key things I'd like to point out to all of you as members and non-members alike. ARA puts retailers first. I do not believe there's another organization nationally that's able to do that. We're a diverse membership, but the retailer comes first. We have very strong leadership and staff. You've seen evidence of that this week. I see it all the time, and it's been an honor to work with them. These guys are very well connected in Washington, and that's what it takes. Got to be able to pick up that phone and call the right guy to get something done, and they're very, very good at that. ARA collaborates well with your state associations and works hand in hand for the benefit of us all. And if it wasn't for that cooperation, we'd be missing a lot of opportunities. In fact, many things that we can't really do alone. It's done for us by ARA. This has been a year, it's been a year of President Trump. This has been a year of a lot of talk about deregulation. And I'm here to tell you that I've discovered that even when we talk about changing regulations to the downside, we still need leadership to make sure that that's done in the proper way. And ARA has done that. This has been a year of consolidation of the industry within ARA. We've worked on that. We've tried to educate about it. And today's sessions are just, an example of that. It's been a year of the commodity slide a little bit, right? A little more stress on some of us out here in the industry where, prices of corn and soybeans may not be what they were a few years ago, and everything's tightening up, and we got to run better businesses. And you see the publications that come out of ARA and their website helping you to be able to do that. We nailed, the process safety management, and you've heard enough about PSM, but one last thing about it. If we hadn't have done that, right now we'd all be spending millions of dollars on it, I can tell you that right now. And if you've ever tried to trace all the piping and every valve and everything in your ammonia installations, you know what I'm talking about. And then responsible ag, you've heard about responsible ag. It's a joint effort between ARA and TFI. We focus on that for stewardship and regulatory compliance, and I encourage all of you to be involved. So I want to thank a couple of people. I want to thank my company first and foremost for allowing me the time and the opportunity to do this, because I got a day job as well. I want to thank the people I work with, because right now a lot of them aren't here, and the reason they aren't here because they're back in Illinois spreading fertilizer and applying ammonia this morning. So we keep our business going. I want to thank the ARA board and the staff. They do the heavy lifting. They're the ones that mentor me rather than the vice versa. And I want to thank my wife, Sherry, for being here with me all the time. So today I transfer the leadership of this. It's been a quick year, but I give it over to John Oster, and John's a very capable industry veteran. thoughtful person, well-spoken. He's ready to do it, and it's in good hands. So, John, I want to congratulate you and thank you all for a very good year.
Good morning, everybody. You can't imagine what a daunting thing or feeling that's going through me right now when I look out at guys like Wendell Stratton, Dee Willard, Dan Weber, all the guys that are really icons to me in this thing we call our retail business. These guys, I'm following in their footsteps, and I'm a little bit humbled by all this, and hope to be able to do half as good a job as our outgoing chairman, Mr. McArdle. He's led this team through a true championship year. And Tim, just on a personal note, I've come to know you better in this year. And you are a friend, and you are something that this industry and this association should take great pride in. So thank you again. When I do things like this, I like to look for comparisons, and so I went back into a very turbulent time in history because we have challenging headwinds in front of us right now. I ended up in the mid-'60s, a pretty tough time for those of us who were around then. We had Vietnam, we had a lot of things going on. People didn't really know where they were, kind of lost our moral compass a bit, if you will. And I looked for something to really get a hold of that I could present to you this morning, and I found a guy named Lombardi, and I found a team named the Green Bay Packers. And anybody from Wisconsin can do a hoo-ah here, but I researched him a little bit. I remember watching him coach the Packers. I remember Dale, Dowler, all those guys, and they had a .753 winning percentage. They won 9 out of 10 playoff games. They won 5 out of 9 NFL championships during Coach Lombardi's time at Green Bay. And a young reporter stuck a microphone in Coach Lombardi's face after winning his 3rd straight Super Bowl in 1967, or NFL championship, at that time, in 1967, and said, "Coach, which one was your toughest win?" And without batting an eye, Lombardi said, "This one." "Well, why is that, Coach?" He said, "Because it is one thing to achieve excellence, but something far, far different and far, far tougher to sustain excellence." And that's stuck with me ever since that time. Now, who knows Phil Bingston? Anybody? Name ring a bell? Was he a running back for the Pack, or what was he? Phil Bingston, the poor schmuck, followed Vince Lombardi at Green Bay. Now, wait a minute. You got to hear the rest of the story. Old Phil's team won 20 games in 2 years. They lost 21, and they tied 1. And 2 years later, Phil bid adieu to Green Bay and went off into the history books, as did Lombardi. So I'm telling you this morning, I do not want to be ARA's Phil Bingston. So we came up with a game plan. I polled the ARA staff, Darren's staff, and Darren, and ask them to give me their dreams, give me their wants and wishes, and because we're going to come up with a game plan that sustains the excellence of this organization in 2018. One of the things we're going to do is we're going to consolidate our position and immortalize and codify our victories. Now, what am I talking about? Here's what I'm talking about. We got to push back on WOTUS, Waters of the United States. But in 4 years or in 8 years' time, if some little snot-nosed, green behind the ears EPA person goes out into your best farmer's field and plants a flag in a low spot, that's going to be part of the waters of the U.S. And all we will have achieved in doing is just kicking that can down the road. So we've got some wins here, folks, and we got to memorialize them, and we do that with ARA's support and ARA's leadership in Washington, D.C. We're going to be a voice of influence in the new Farm Bill. You got to remember that 4 out of every $5 spent in the Farm Bill goes to WIC programs and inner city programs and feed people. But along with that, we got to have a safety net for our growers when the hurricanes hit Mary's state down in Florida, the disasters hit California, or we have God knows what in the Midwest. We always come up with some crisis du jour. So we have to have a viable farm bill that protects our growers. Without them, we're nothing, of course. We have to work with this new administration. We've got a team of, we got some rookies coming onto the team, and we got to make sure they understand how important our team is and how important agriculture is. We've got guys like Purdue, Pruitt, Zinke, Tillerson. Those are all highly recruited rookies, but they're still rookies, and we got to tell our story to them. We got to tell them about our team and how we win. We got to get them on board with us. We have to work to maintain and grow our PAC's position on the Hill. And I've never been so proud of people as I was last night at that auction. I wish all of you could have been there. Regrettably, probably some of you weren't, but I'm going to tell you, I saw people hold up their hand and stick their hand in their pocket and pull out $5,000 to buy something that they needed, like they needed another hole in the head. And they did it simply because they know it's the right thing to do, and it's going to help our cause and help our agriculture. And folks, that's $70,000 some odd dollars. Wow, you know, what a testament to you, our membership. We've got a lot of mergers and acquisitions. You've heard that all week. We got to try to sustain ourselves, and so we're going to throw challenges at you to go see your neighbor 2 counties over and say, Joe, these are the things that ARA has done. This is the process safety management work that you don't have to do, for example, as Tim pointed out. This is what you don't have to do. Now it's time for you to step up and pay for it along with me. Won't you join me at ARA? Let's fight the good fight here. Let's get you on board. You're going to get a lot of benefit out of this organization. And we're gonna have to tell Ag's story. We say this to each other. We preach to the choir till we're blue in the face, but we are the next to worst people of getting our story out that I know of. The other one is the farmer. We don't toot our horn. And folks, in this day and age, when you can pick up something here and dial up the moon, you know, and send something off into cyberspace and everybody reads it, if we don't tell the story, others will. We heard yesterday that there are 35 million people in California that don't really want agriculture in their state. What have we told them? Or have they listened to the wrong message? So we got to get that message out. That's our job. We got to tell our winning story. So I'll close with this, Darren. To the staff, to the membership, all of them, all of you, we make up a championship team. We don't need to back up or anything. We need to get the quiver out of our voice because we're winners the same as the Packers were back in the 60s. And in the next year, we're going to sustain that excellence. And I guarantee you, we're going to do it because North American agriculture and the people that make it work, all right, are the best in the world at what we do. I can't wait to get started. 2018 is going to be an exciting year, full of challenges, but full of real rewards. So thank you very much. Can you keep the hair out of the picture?